Today we're reacting to top NFT videos on YouTube, and it's maybe going to be a compilation of everything, so let's get started. Alright, let's cover this one. It says, why NFTs will destroy the world. In case you're new to this is a crypto reaction YouTube channel. Previous video was about NFT investing. The next one is going to be about NFTs too, but why crypto will destroy the world.
What the heck is going on with NFTs? There's something called NFTs.
To be NFT and called NFT.
NFTs.
This guy does a great job editing.
Fungible tokens. Okay, so I had a conversation with my family over the weekend about NFTs and crypto. You know, super casual. And I realized that NFTs are still this very strange thing that only internet people actually know about. And even then, most people don't truly understand what it is, including you. And it's simply because of this. This is the technology adoption lifecycle.
Oh my gosh, I've seen this chart so many times in my life working in startups.
A model that describes the adoption of a new thing in society. The first people to use a new product are called innovators, followed by early adopters, and so on, until the last group, the laggards. For example, cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin, its popularity accelerated significantly in the past few years alone. But yet, it's still only at this stage, the early majority. NFTs, on the other hand, are still very, very new over here. So let's make everything easy to understand. Are NFTs the biggest scam of our century, or will they transform the world as we know it? But first, you need to actually understand.
I feel like I'm watching a Netflix trailer. This guy's editing is so good. That's all I can focus on.
What is an NFT?
NFTs.
NFTs like NFTs.
Purchase an NFT.
Board AP.
Explain NFTs to people that don't know what you're talking about.
This painting sold for $51,670,000 in 1989. Adjusted for inflation, that's nearly $121 million today. Even if you didn't know anything about art, you're probably still familiar with this man, Pablo Picasso, who revolutionized what it meant to be an artist. This piece.
Fun fact, not sponsored. You can buy some of Pablo Picasso's works, or like fractional pieces of Picasso, through masterworks.io, which is like the non-digital version of investing in art, because you're investing in physical art. Not sponsored. I wish they'd sponsor me.
It's from Picasso's modern contemporary collection, which sold for $91.8 million very recently. It's strange when you think about it. Value. It's a very interesting concept, so uniquely human. This painting by Picasso is nothing more than fabric with some colored oils splattered across the surface. Functionally completely useless. Yet we, as a whole, all agree that this painting is worth more than 1,000 lifetimes of food, water, and shelter. And now is probably a good time to tell you that I haven't been
I've never seen that painting before in my life.
completely honest with you. This is a lie. It's not a painting by Picasso. In fact, it's not a painting at all. It's a digital art piece on the computer on the internet that someone
That's why I never seen it.
contractually owns because of a new technology called the NFT. But what exactly does that mean? Owning a digital piece of art. It's not tangible, unlike this water bottle right here. I can touch it, I can smell it, I can taste it, I can see it. All my senses agree that this is real. But this, I can't do any of that with this. So, are we in the middle of the biggest scam of our generation? Simply a way to part a fool and his money? Maybe. By the end of this video, you'll have enough information to decide for yourself if we're at the peak of another tech bubble, or if we're in the middle of completely revolutionizing what it means to be digital and physical. Okay, let's jump into it. NFT stands for non-fungible token. To make things easier, we can change the word fungible to the word replaceable. Non-replaceable token, meaning it's something that you cannot replace with something equivalent.
If you really love your girlfriend or your boyfriend, they are your kind of like NFT. They're non-replaceable. You can't just swap it out with another person who looks like your girlfriend or boyfriend.
The biggest misconception that I need to clarify is that an NFT is not art that you see like this or this or this. An NFT is just some data, a digital certificate of ownership that in
I love this explanation. So perfect. I really like this guy already.
Let's you say you own this unique thing, whether it's something digital like this, or technically even this water bottle. The key point is that an NFT is separate from the thing itself. But let's focus on the middle word here, fungible. What exactly does fungible mean? Here, take this $100 bill. It's fungible or replaceable because if I rip it up, I can replace it with another bill, and it will be functionally identical. Which, by the way, this is fake, so please don't call the cops on me. However, here's where it gets really interesting. Focus on this $100 bill, signed by Mr. Magic Mustache Lamp over there. This $100 bill brings me good luck, and if I rip it up, I can't just replace it with another $100 bill because this one has special value to me because Mr. Magic Lamp can no longer sign a new bill because, well, look at him. So this is non-fungible. That might have been confusing, so let's use these
I love this explanation.
cards. Here, let's zoom in a bit.
Honestly, this video is so good. I want to watch the whole thing, but then my video would be 25 minutes long as it's too long. So I'm just going to skip ahead to maybe this part.
By using an example from the most important moment of your life, when you bought your very first cheeseburger.
I'll take the cheeseburger meal.
You're at a McDonald's and you order a double cheeseburger, extra onions, and the cashier tells you that it costs $2.31. So you whip out your credit card and you swipe it. When the card is swiped, a signal is sent to your bank account to verify that you have more than $2.31.
This man is a genius at explaining. I'm going to skip ahead again because I'm pretty sure whatever else he has to say, it is accurate. I'm going to skip ahead to the biggest concerns with NFTs. And so far, it's clear to me that this man is a genius editor, genius storyteller, and he knows how to market this because so far, He hasn't talked about why NFTs will destroy the world. He's just given context on what NFTs are, allayed your fears about them, and now he's talking about the biggest concerns with NFTs. So I'm really impressed with his storytelling and how he's able to communicate.
A bit later. Right now, NFTs are still at its infancy stage, to the extent that we haven't even tasted its future potential yet. Rather, what we see in the NFT world is people convincing others to buy and sell pictures of a rock at higher and higher prices, looking to make a quick buck. But
very accurate.
There's so much more future possibilities, but only if we can get over these 3 obstacles. It was the 1990s, the era of VHS, roller skates, and jawbreakers. There was a little craze going on around the globe with these things, Beanie Babies, a collection of unique and rare plushy toys that people bought for thousands of dollars with one goal in mind, a dream, that its hype and its uniqueness would let them profit handsomely in the future. But things didn't turn out that way.
You should definitely hear the story of Beanie Babies if you haven't. It's kind of just the tip of mania, and everything crashes. And all the Beanie Babies just lose all value pretty much overnight.
Hype around monkey pictures. I'm worried if NFTs ever become permanently synonymous with scams and get-rich-quick schemes, that it could slow mainstream adoption and the development of actual use cases that could transform the direction of our digital and physical world.
I love the direction that he's going with this. This is also my personal viewpoint and concern, is if there's too many grifters or people who are just looking to make a quick buck and create such a terrible name for the mainstream, then actual NFT technology that could be associated with NFTs for like health certificates, or NFTs for real estate, or NFTs for insurance, stuff like that, it's just not going to be developed as quickly and as efficiently because people will not want it to be developed because they have this idea that it's just a scam.
But this first obstacle is only the tip of the iceberg. There's something else with NFTs that could cause irrevocable harm.
It may not seem obvious, but we are facing a man-made disaster on...
Alright, we're talking about climate change, let's go!
...of power every single year. That's more power than places like Belgium or the Philippines use every year. In fact, a single artist who sold just 2 NFTs used 175 megawatts of power, the equivalent of creating the greenhouse gas emissions of 21 years of a US household's electricity use. And this is only the beginning. Ethereum's energy consumption has skyrocketed in recent years, and with an increased interest in NFTs and sales of monkey pictures, things are only getting worse. Now here's the biggest misunderstanding with NFTs. Mere existence of it on the blockchain. Let's say that you bought this NFT for this Beeple image for 16.
Okay, I understand where he's going to go with the third point, but regarding the second point about climate and crypto, that's always been just the hottest topic. I've already made 4 videos about climate and crypto that you should check out in this playlist here. I talk about it pretty extensively if you want to learn more. And now I'm just going to skip ahead.
Placing your trust in the domain and website owner. In theory, the website owner could just redirect the URL that's in your NFT file to a Rickroll video. And bam, your associated image is gone like that. And you, just being the NFT owner, the owner of this digital certificate, you have absolutely no control over any of this. The only way to ensure permanence of this digital image is if it's stored directly on the blockchain, which again, is very challenging. Now, there are some things people are trying to do to reduce or minimize this problem, such as using...
I love that he talks about the problem and then talks about the potential solutions.
...multiple hosts, but still, the system has major flaws. But let's assume that we're able to solve these 3 hurdles. The perception of NFTs aren't tarnished forever, blockchain energy consumption is significantly reduced, and we come up with a way to permanently store both the digital image and the digital signature permanently. Then, we can peek behind the curtains and get a taste into the future, which is...
Yay, we're going to talk about the future now. How NFTs will change the world.
The A or B-list celebrities most struggle to make their creations profitable. There are huge corporations or middlemen that exploit these creators by taking a large chunk of revenue and creative control, and in return give the actual creators just peanuts. NFTs, it's possible for artists to retain more control and be more financially rewarded, as they won't need to rely on a middleman anymore. Or what about video games? Recently, Ubisoft, the company that makes Assassin's Creed and Rainbow Six.
I also made a video about crypto gaming here and how people were able to make a living, more than minimum wage, when it was launched.
They released a new platform called Quartz, a way to buy and trade unique NFTs on some of their games. It's still in very early stages, but imagine if you can create unique gear or clothes for characters in the game that no one else has access to, which you can trade and sell to one another. Or what if we merge our digital and physical lives together? NFTs can be used to increase...
They did not need to zoom in on his head like that.
...security and confidence between a buyer and seller, because you'll always be able to verify the authenticity of an item, whether it comes directly from the manufacturer or not, making scams a lot less likely to happen. NFTs could even disrupt how governments and entire cities function.
Yes! I love this point.
And land disputes, copyright infringements, and many other legal problems. A publicly verifiable and impossible to manipulate database would make property, land, and car ownership much easier to manage and more...
So I have a video about like the top 5 climate projects. And one of the first 2 problems in that video includes how crop insurance is really expensive because getting satellite data images is really expensive. And so farmers kind of have to fend for themselves and have unsustainable farming practices, like the whole shebang. Very complicated stuff. But with the blockchain, you can put satellite data images on the blockchain and anyone can pay to just access them. And they're all authentic, they're verifiable. So instead of having to build your own satellite company to gather these images for crops for farmers. Now crop insurance can use authentic data from the blockchain where everybody in the world can see and drastically limit the cost of crop insurance, which is great for farmers. This is what he's talking about. NFTs can really change the world if it's used in great ways outside of art, and currently we're way too early to have those use cases function right now because we still need to build up the infrastructure, and right now all the infrastructure we can build is for art and picture of monkeys.
In the real world. But even then, this is still thinking way too small, way too primitive. NFTs could overhaul our entire lives as we know it. For example, Ready Player One is a story where people can connect into a virtual world to live a completely different life every single day. And this virtual world and society, just like our physical one, it needs rules to run smoothly. Rules
I'm just gonna skip ahead until the end.
for pictures of monkeys. It would all come crumbling down. But soon after, underneath the ashes, the rubbles, a new flower will bud. And another wave of interest will be born with more meaningful industrial and digital applications that serve a much greater purpose than just collecting pictures of rocks. And it's at this moment when people will realize that the most exciting thing about NFTs is not owning pictures of penguins. Rather, it's realizing that the whole world has overcome the biggest hurdle of a self-functioning digital economy by making scarcity and uniqueness possible. But that can only
Okay, I'm basically done with this video. This man is amazing. I'm gonna hit subscribe. Whatever other videos that he has, let's check them out. Market crash, hyperinflation. Okay, so he does a lot of like analysis and theory stuff. That was an amazing video. I think like if anyone asked me what an NFT is, that is the video that I'm going to show them because wow, he pulled it in from why are people talking about it to what it actually is, what are the problems associated, why it's really bad, how it's going to impact and change the world if we get there. Wow. This man, I'm just blown away. I'm definitely going to watch more of his videos. Yeah, that was amazing. This was actually truly amazing. I'm going to be reviewing another NFT YouTube video in my next video, so please hit subscribe if you want to check out more of my reactions to this and my commentary. But wow, just amazing. Okay, I'll see y'all in my next video.